Hi, my Troublesomes. It's Miracle, and welcome back to Mind of a Miracle. I'm so happy you guys decided to join me today, and honey, we are doing what we do best, and that is minding other people's business. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a little comfort pillow, go ahead and pour yourself a little drinky drink, honey, because I got the hot cocoa for you. Babes, listen, I don't even think I can go through the whole normal introduction because I am all confusion. Tati Westbrook finally came out with her response video, and when I tell you it was 40 minutes and 10 seconds of weeping, crying, and feelings, okay? I was not prepared. So if you guys were not aware, currently we are in the process of Karmageddon, all right? And everybody is getting their secondhand dosage of all the pain that has been acquiring and accumulating for the last 2.5 years or so. Tati Westbrook has finally made her formal statement, and this actually pins her to be on Team James Charles and completely against Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. Now, if you guys didn't get a chance to watch that clip, I have fast forward through that video, and I ended up taking all the scenes that I thought that were very important, or at least ended up clarifying some things. So here that is.
For me to share with you some very, very important things, and I am going to be reading from what is approved by my legal team, so I am, once I start getting into what I need to share with you guys today, what I feel is important to share with you, I won't be deviating, and it's at the advice of my legal counsel. So, and I've been praying every day over this event, scandal, whatever you want to name it, and I just ask that you press pause for a moment, and even just for 10 seconds, just cover this in prayer, because there is so much healing that needs to take place. I become the #1 target of relentless hate while remaining voiceless. I've lost over a year of my life terrified of social media and terrified of speaking up against the people that used, coerced, and manipulated me into uploading my video in May of last year. As a result, the damage to my health, relationships, reputation, business, and general well-being have been enormous. The platform that I love, this platform that saved my life and that changed my life, has become toxic. And what it needs now more than ever are peacemakers. We need to find our way back to the beginning through forgiveness and leading with love. We need to rebuild a safe place to escape again. Our world seems to be falling apart all around us, so the last thing you need me to do is fuel more hate by releasing my receipts and voice memos. But I know many of you are needing some answers, as well as a long overdue apology for the role that I played. Back in December 2019, after Shane and Jeffree's series ended, James Charles came to my LA home, and we compared DMs, texts, and stories about what had happened behind the scenes. We apologized to each other, forgave each other, and agreed to wait patiently until it was safe for me to share my story. Since that night, James Charles has repeatedly said that he wanted to be beside me for this video. But I felt it was important that I do it alone, because he deserves my first apology. To provide some context, it's important for you to know that I love James Charles. He has a special place in my heart, and that never changed, even when I was hurt. Prior to the scandal last May, I'd started growing frustrated with what I perceived as a progressing sense of entitlement, and I felt that he was making some detrimental choices that could jeopardize his career and safety. None of my concerns became overwhelming until after I met Shane Dawson. I expressed how much a specific decision he made that I perceived as betrayal hurt me. I was very worried and heartbroken, but I did not lie in that video. I never called James Charles a predator, and I never said that James Charles was a danger to society. My video was not made with any malice. While I was definitely upset that he had accepted a sponsorship from the biggest rival to my brand, Halo Beauty, I did not make my video because of vitamins. I made it as a result of all the poisonous lies that were fed to me by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Yes, I'm a grown woman. I'm smart. I can usually spot deceit and manipulation a mile away, but my guard was down from being heartbroken, and I allowed myself to be worked by Shane, Jeffree, and others. After my video went up, I was never served a lawsuit or any cease and desist letters. I only privated my video at the request of YouTube because YouTube said it was a bad look for their platform. The information they were giving me was terrifying. I thought your career and freedom were in jeopardy. I was trying to get you to put your phone down and seek help because I was told there were a lot of victims that were going to come forward to destroy you. I was foolish for believing them. I was scared. I thought if I called you out, you would put your phone down and stop the detrimental behavior I was being made to believe was true. James, I apologize for uploading that video. I should have known better than to fall for their lies and manipulation, but in the end, I failed. And instead, I allowed Shane and Jeffree to put a wedge between our friendship. I learned that being friends with Jeffree Star was like being friends with a lion. Yes, he may have been dangerous, but he was always really kind to me. From time to time, I would see improvements, which were followed by setbacks thereafter, but overall, I thought he was growing as a person. And again, I thought I could be a good example for him. Long overdue apology. Jackie Ina. Jackie, the moment that Jeffree went off on you, the day before my first video collab with him went live, I should have run for the hills. I was naive. I was excited about the video. I got it twisted that you had provoked Jeffree because you were angry that I had filmed with someone who had a history of being labeled by others as a racist. Jackie, I'm sorry that I did not do the right thing and walk away from him then. I should have not been blind to the reasons behind the accusations of his racism. I shouldn't have defended him, and I regret any of the pain that I may have caused you. My opinion, he's gonna go off, guys, and I don't think he will hold back, and I think we need to be prepared to understand that we need to forgive the people that he is holding hostage with veiled threats of exposure. We need to be prepared to forgive them. Otherwise, this won't stop. So prepare to not cancel everyone and give them a chance. It's not right. It is not right to try to trap people into saying things that they wouldn't otherwise say. It's not right. Yes, I knew that Shane was friends with Jeffree and that they were working together, but I thought to myself, why would Shane Dawson, the king of truth on YouTube, be turning against James Charles unless these things he was saying were true? Why would Shane sit in my home and spend so many hours telling me these horrific allegations if they were not true? Shane said that James Charles was a monster and that James Charles was hurting minors. Shane said he was planning to interview victims for the docuseries. He told me that something needed to be done to stop him from hurting more people. Over the course of the next few weeks, he and Jeffree fed me so much information that I felt sick. Almost every day, there was more information and new allegations. Eventually, I started believing what they were saying because they said they had evidence. By the time the drama around James Charles' promotion of Sugar Bear Hair reached its peak, I was beyond gaslit. Shane Dawson didn't just know about my Bye Sister video. He offered to help edit it. He even offered to design the thumbnail and help title it. I declined his offer, but his gesture supported and reinforced for me that he was telling the truth. Why else would he jeopardize his career? So surely Jeffree was telling the truth too. Keep in mind that up until this point, I didn't even know I was making a video, so how is it that so many editorial outlets knew that something was coming before I had even made a decision to film? I struggled with the decision to film my video for days. The night before I did film, Jeffree sent me what he claimed was an audio file from an alleged victim and told me to listen to the pain in their voice. The audio was clearly a small portion of a larger conversation. It wasn't enough for me to contact the authorities. It was enough to scare me. As a victim of abuse myself, I know how terrifying it is to think of facing public humiliation and legal proceedings. It wasn't my place to contact authorities. Shane never reached out to check on me, and he never shared the trailer with me. The last time we spoke on the phone was before Jeffree's apology video, and I asked him to not include the drama in the series. He only texted me after the trailer was live with an audio message telling me to not worry about it. The drama was only going to be one episode. For the next few months, I was tormented with subtweets and innuendo that there was a huge drama around the corner. I felt that I was a liability to them and that I knew too much, so I put all of my text messages and other files on a hard drive and told a few people that I was afraid for my life and had given everything to my lawyers. I was hoping that information would leak, as I thought it might keep me safe. My mental and physical health suffered. My businesses suffered. It was all I could do to pull myself together for the launch of Tati Beauty. Last fall, I became so afraid to stay in my LA home that I bulk filmed a lot of videos and I left town in October to get away from it all. I was so upset that I continued to lose weight. I couldn't sleep, and slowly I became a shell of my former self. I had intended on pursuing fertility treatments in 2019, but my mind and body were just too frail. My mind and body were just too frail to support a pregnancy. It wasn't until the series ended in December, when James Charles and I met, that I started to realize what had actually happened. Over the next few months, a few people have bravely come forward with more information, and the pieces of what we believe actually happened are coming together. Make no mistake, this is far from over. I've been terrified for a very long time, so much so that I had to relocate again 2 months ago, and I have taken serious security precautions to ensure my safety. On the advice of my attorneys, I cannot share with all of you right now the evidence that we have accumulated of the events that have occurred. However, there will soon come a day where we will be able to present this evidence, and you will be able to see why it is we believe that Jeffree and Shane are responsible for so much of the damage that has been caused. I can tell you this, it's now my opinion that Jeffree and Shane were both bitterly jealous of James Charles' success. Jeffree resented that so much of his business was centered around his biggest rival, and Shane did not like that James Charles wanted to make a documentary. Neither of them were happy with standing in his shadow on YouTube anymore. I believe James Charles was gaining more followers and receiving more views and more press faster than anyone in the history on the platform. And it's also my opinion that Jeffree and Shane needed James marginalized and out of the way for their November launch of the Conspiracy Palette along with Shane's merch. I've also recently been informed that Jeffree is allegedly a co-owner of Morphe. Before the scandal occurred, I'd also been told that James Charles was about to develop an entire cosmetics line with the owners of Morphe. This entire situation opens up a Pandora's box of speculation, but I'm just not sure anyone counted on this drama spreading like wildfire. As for everyone else involved that did anything underhanded or defamatory over the last year, I am still well within the statute of limitations for bringing a civil action to seek recovery for my damages. Should I proceed with this course of actions, my attorneys will be deposing all witnesses who have information about the truth of what happened here. So for everyone else whose hands are dirty that have not yet come forward, be careful of your allegiance. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the truth.
So my Troublesomes, opinion time. How do I feel about that whole little situation here? Truth be told, I have not processed everything, but there are some things about that video that do both irritate my nerves and also are very clarifying in other means. So first things first, let's talk about the clarity. Now we see that Tati Westbrook is fully, somewhat confirming that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson are actually behind the planning of Karmageddon 2. And she spectates that both Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson were not pleased with his growth that was happening on the platform. In addition to them not being pleased with his growth, she also goes on to continue that Morphe may have a hand in this as well, because she does not think it is by accident that freaking Morphe is coming out with some hair and vitamin pills or whatever the case may be. And she says that she has some receipts of her own. What I don't appreciate though is how Tati completely removed herself from the whole situation. She says that she was coerced into creating this video, uploading it, and after all the information that she ended up receiving from both Shane and Jeffree, she decided that her long-term friend and person that she was mentoring, basically her child, was completely a waste of time, and somehow somebody that you met for a brief period of time was supposed to convince you not to like somebody under the guise of what? because you thought that he needed to be humbled too? That's just my biggest question. What really drove that point home to me too was the fact that Tati ended up saying that whatever was shared with her was not enough for her to go to the authorities. It was enough to freak her out, and so she decided that it was proper for her to go on the internet instead and upload a video instead of talking to James personally and saying, hey, baby boo, maybe what you're doing right now is not the best look and you're doing too much on your platform. It seems interesting though, because what ended up happening is James continued on with the same course of action. This didn't necessarily humble him. It actually just made him more careful with who he was messing with, and then he ended up being bigger and better anyway. So these are the things that really stick out to me, because it looks like everybody had some sort of ulterior motive, and then when James Charles was continuing to be on and popping without everybody, that's when everybody's like, oh, well, actually, I'm on James's side, and James was the one that I need to apologize to. Like, get over yourself, people. You are not convincing me, and I'm sure you're not convincing other people. Let me stop before this wig flies off my head. And then we have this receipt thing. Okay, so we have the legal team involved with this whole situation, which is good. So everybody who's actually going to end up being involved in this situation, so that's James Charles, Tati Westbrook, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, all of them are gonna have a big old happy lawsuit about defamation. Along with that, there's loss of wages. All this is going to be settled in the court system, and that's great for the audience because now we get to go to the legal documents and see whose favor this whole thing will be in, because I don't know, this just seems all too convenient. Why this seems real convenient to me, okay? And this is mere speculation, okay? I have to protect myself, okay? But the reason why that I'm speculating is because why did this series of events end up happening at the height of when everything's extra? My neighbors need to stop, okay? I can't get my neighbor to stop mowing their grass, so we're just gonna have to continue. I'm sorry for the sound. But the reason why this is coming across as so weird to me is because Cam Lester came at the height of when it was real convenient to start talking about this, and he was the first one who came out and said that I fear for my life. Second hand came Ashley Kyle, and then Ashley is like, Tati and I are just alike, and I fear for my life too. Then all of a sudden, freaking Blair White comes out, I fear for my life. And now Tati's thinking that she's gonna end up dead in a ditch too. What is going on? Why is everybody so afraid of Jeffree Star? And what are you doing with your life that you can't call the police if you were that scared of this man who's out here living his best life on a public setting and doing whatever he does? Because clearly you ain't that scared if you're coming forward right now and there's strength in numbers. I'm just confused. Somebody help me. Please tell me. Jeffree, call me right now and tell me what is going on that people are so fearful of you. Listen. Told I can't sympathize with anybody because I think they're all guilty by association. Everybody had their own means to gain, and when it didn't work out in their favor, that's why they decided to backtrack. And I feel, this is speculation, but I feel like this is a retaliation move, and a lot of people are potentially benefiting from the situation. So we will find out when the court receipts come out, okay? The court system. Please forgive me, but I have to call a spade a spade. This is white corporate America getting into it, right? So white corporate America, these results, they might actually see true justice. So we're just gonna wait and see, okay? Unless somebody else is gonna, drop some dollars, and then whoever can pay out the people the most, then we'll really find out. But you know what? That's the story for another time, all right? So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification to receive updates any other time that I upload. Please say goodbye to Bruce Wabafett, okay? Brucey wants to say goodbye to you. All right, guys, until next time, I love you so much. Thanks for watching, okay? Bye!
I even tried to get him involved with my favorite charity. Diverting from script. Yes, I am going to be speaking on my real life more freely, I hope, in the future, and the things that I think are important.
Let me just talk about this. I just really appreciate Tati Westbrook because Tati is the type of person who can cry, okay? She can literally cry blood and then be like, I have something to promote to you guys. So I have my favorite charity, and I tried to change Jeffree's life with this charity, and I love this charity. And then also, I'm going to put some ads on this video so that we can donate to my favorite charity. I'm not saying that she has any sort of involvement with this charity. The people who actually look up receipts like that, they can find out how much involvement that Tati Westbrook has in this, how much she has invested in this, but that's just something to look into, okay? But I'm gonna leave that alone.